darling hearts, it's Gabs coach Emma here. I've been off for a week. I was tending to my mother's garden in France, and I've planted the whole lot up with rows and rows of beans and peas and greens and seeds, and I've mulched every square inch of it, so I'm going to be able to go back there in 6-8 weeks time, and hopefully no one will have done any weeding, but I'll be able to cope with it. I want to tell you a story a little bit. I've been reading Dr. Natasha's second book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome. I've already read it about 4 times, but it's such an excellent reference book. And somebody I'm talking to at the moment is losing their hair. So I was like, okay, I better have a quick look at hormones, regulation, and there's lots of people with thyroid issues, so many women with thyroid issues. So I was looking it up. So it's hormones. Let's talk about hormones. So, you've got your pituitary, your pineal, your hypothalamus, your thyroid, your pancreas, your adrenal, your sex glands, and your parathyroid and your thymus glands. And they all work together like an orchestra. Playing a really, really complicated symphony. That's the way Dr. Natasha puts it. It's so beautiful, isn't it? So it's like a symphony being played, and I love that analogy because it tunes in with the idea that we are frequency and vibration, and that by singing we can heal ourselves, and by making noises we can heal ourselves. And it also chimes in with all of that Tartaria stuff about the Antiquitech and the bells and the organs, healing the organs in the cathedrals at the altar where we all get altered. I thought that was a very interesting new concept. I haven't heard about that before. Anyway, hormones. So if it's this very complicated symphony, and if one hormone is out, it's going to put one of the other hormones out in all of those glands I just mentioned, right? We have to consider as well that the gut flora is like another extra gland, if you like, because it's involved in food digestion and absorption, obviously, making sure that your endocrine glands have got all their building blocks and all the bits they need to make their hormones. What are hormones made of? Fats. Hormones are made of fats, and we've been told not to eat fats, haven't we? Secondly, your gut flora protects the whole body from toxicity, because it's like your first line of defense. The little cells that line your gut lining are like sentries. They're like guards, not letting any toxins in unless you've got leaky gut. And of course, we know lots of people have got leaky gut these days, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And on top of that, your gut flora produce their own active substances, their own neurotransmitters and vitamins. And, so your gut flora is hugely important and influential in your endocrine system, which is all about your hormones, which is regulating the symphony of your life. So when the composition of the gut flora gets damaged, everything changes, and the flow of nutrients and hormones and enzymes and many other powerful substances that come from the gut, right? Rather than being a source of strength and building resilience, suddenly becomes something that upsets the apple cart. It upsets the balance, right? So, endocrine disrupting chemicals. Where do they come from? Dr. Natasha very kindly writes in her book, we humans have, been putting lots of chemicals into the atmosphere, whatever, and into everywhere. I don't think it's we humans. I don't know who the hell it is. I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who's at the peak of the organisations that self-regulate and have sprayed us like lab rats for the last 60, 70 years, since the Second World War, really. Endocrine disrupting chemicals come from plastics. There's plastic everywhere. Who invented plastic? Why are we using plastic? Why can't we use paper and wood and woven fabrics and natural fabrics? Why can't we use natural fabrics? Right, food packaging, household products, right, fire retardants. Fire retardants are on everything. They're in our furniture, in our clothes, in baby clothes and nappies. Do we know what even is in... Do you know there are residues of agricultural pesticides in your tampons, girls, in your, sanitary products that are touching those sensitive mucosal membranes, and you're just sucking in the chemicals. We need to get organic stuff, or use cotton and wash it, or use wool and cotton. It's just really serious. I'm really, really serious about this. It's like we're all getting poisoned. Right, the contraceptive pill. What a joke. please, please don't ever let that stuff in your body. Hormone replacement therapies and many other pharmaceutical drugs all are endocrine disrupting chemicals, right? Pharmaceutical drugs, yeah, dental materials. If you've got any fillings and stuff, all of that shit. I mean, my kids don't have any fillings. It's because I have stood there and gone, no, we're not having the sweets in the supermarket while they're having a meltdown on the floor. It was so embarrassing, and it's happened hundreds of times, not hundreds, but I mean, you know, I've been really strict, but at the same time I've been giving them good stuff, like we make date paste and we make fat bomb frosting, and you know, so it's not like they can't have sweet stuff. They can have, you know, fruit gelatin, chewy sour sweets, yummy, but it's not made with rubbish, it's made with good stuff, you know. So yeah, I put my foot down and I went, we're not eating that shit, we're not eating that industrialized crap, right? We're not having it. Well, I couldn't have it because actually we were the canaries in the coal mine, right? We were the ones who were suffering 15 years ago so that we could come through now with the information that you need so that you don't have to suffer. Okay, so take this seriously, right? Because now we're strong and resilient. We can withstand all the crazy frequencies that are flying around at the moment because we're built of better stuff. We're built of strong stuff. I never shied away from gelatin. I never shied away from collagen. Never shied away from butter and all of those, you know, really powerful foods. Yeah, but your personal care products, that's another endocrine disruptor. Your shampoo, your moisturizers, what are you putting on your skin? I put cream on my skin. Cream, 24-hour fermented cream. Where did that come from? You know, where did this whole put some cream on it, put some cream on it? What did they mean? They meant like the dairy maid. The dairy maid would milk the cow, get the cream. She'd have it all over her, on her hands, on her, she'd just rub it in, you know? She was always the one who had the lovely shiny skin and the bright eyes. What does good health actually even look like these days? Do you ever see anyone and you think, well, they look well? They've got good energy. Their eyes are shining. Their cheeks are rosy. They're bouncing around. You know, not very many people are, and it's because we're poisoned. And I'm not joking when I say this, right? So yeah, your hair dyes, makeup, even paper, because it's bleached with stuff, you know, cleaning chemicals in the house, laundry detergents, agricultural chemicals, processed foods, all contain endocrine disrupting substances. So if you want your hormones to be well balanced, you've got to pay attention to what's going in. Now, I'm not saying, okay, you know, I'm not saying everything's got to be in place all at the same time. I'm saying be aware and go, right, okay, what am I going to put on my skin to moisturise? I'm going to use something edible. I've already got some coconut oil in the cupboard. I'm going to rub that in with a little bit of cream, you know? So don't need to buy moisturiser. Good, that's one thing off the list. Right, how about hair? Well, I don't ever wash my hair. I just brush it. And sometimes I swim in the sea and then I rinse it in fresh water. And I don't use shampoos. I don't have them close to my skin because they're just, my skin, your skin just soaks up anything that you put on it, right? You've got to be really wary of what goes on your skin because it's going to affect your hormones. So if you've got thyroid issues, if you've got energy issues, if your hair's thinning, if you're feeling less than perfect, maybe you need to come and join me at Timeless Cookery Club and we can talk about what's going on in your world. I've got 3 client calls today. I'm so excited, so I'm going to get off now because we're going to be talking personally, you know, face to face about what's eating them or what are they eating and what's, you know, how do they feel? And we're going to get to the bottom of their health issues and come up with a plan so that they can just take some small steps in the right direction. That's the way we do it. We change our habits by just making small steps. So this week, if you don't do anything else, if you're not already doing it, get the stock pot on. It's so easy. You just stick a chicken in the pot with a carrot and some celery and onion, sea salt, black pepper, fill it up with water and turn it on. An hour later, an hour and a half later, you come back and turn it off. And then once that's cooled, you whip the chicken out and pick the meat off the bones, put the meat in the fridge, put everything else back in the pot. That is your magic cauldron of power potion. That is where the bones, you know, are, and we stir it like the witches do because stirring creates a vortex which actually changes the structure of water. You should always stir your drinks before you drink them. And we make the magic and we get well, we get the vibrations right and we avoid the poisons. So yeah, if you want to know about some alternatives, what you can use, you know, join me at Timeless Cookery Club, timelesscookery.com. Or if you're really in a bad way, become a one-to-one client, let me help you. We spend time together face to face and get to the bottom of the issues. And then you can start to really come alive. That's going to be my next live. Actually, I'm going to talk about live foods because everyone's always like, got to eat raw, got to eat raw. Some people can't even handle raw. Some people can't even eat a salad without bloating. and I know why, and I can help you with that. But we do need live foods, and they will come from the ferments, which are actually very easy to do. So come and learn how to do fermented foods, come and how to keep a stock pot, come and learn how to keep a stock pot, come and learn how to stretch chicken for a week, because everyone's feeling the pinch, aren't they? Everyone's like, shit, have you seen the price of food? I was in France last week, right? It was a mango, €13.80 for a mango. What? Anyway, see me at timelesscookery.com. Lots of love, darling hearts. Bye.